Welcome to our 2021 Year in Review at the Niagara-on-the-Lake Public Library. 2021 started with ongoing closures and restrictions in place, and the Niagara-on-the-Lake Public Library staff continued to think creatively to find ways to best serve our members and community with excellence. Guided by our vision and mission statements, and with additional safety measures in place, we continue to be the important community hub by encouraging community, connectivity, and creative thinking through our adaptable, future-focused library services. Recognizing and continuing to build those connections with our community, in person when possible and virtual when not, was crucial. With continued staff response and with safety measures in place, we successfully met the needs of our members and community in our service delivery. Online library card signups on our website, which began in 2020 at the start of the pandemic, continued into 2021 and saw 677 new members register to join the Niagara-on-the-Lake Public Library. Speaking of new members, we welcomed 3 new library systems, West Lincoln, Waynfleet, and Welland, into LINK, which is short for Libraries in Niagara Cooperative. Now our library members have access to over 11 different library systems in Niagara and over 20 branches of physical materials to explore. Curbside pickup appointments continued into 2021 as a way to circulate physical materials to our library members during restrictions, lockdowns, and closures. Over 5,466 curbside appointments were booked and served in 2021, with 55,983 physical items circulated to our members and community, and 16,467 of those items were pulled from libraries in LINK. We increased services for our e-resource offerings, including adding titles to Cloud Library, as well as adding 2 new e-resource platforms, Hoopla and Libby digital magazines, so members could continue to access content from the safety of their own homes. Virtual Tuesday Trivia continued to run strong in 2021 with over 500 participants throughout the year. While the library was closed, we renovated the Makery thanks to a generous grant received in 2021. New furniture and equipment was purchased to continue to make the space accessible and inspiring for the makers in our community. We were also elated to add 5 Cricut Joy machines and a Glow Forge to our Makery machine lineup. One of the most important services we delivered in 2021 was the lamination of vaccine certificates for those in our community. We printed, cut, and laminated over 1,000 vaccine passports in the year. Virtual programming continued into 2021 as restrictions and closures were still in place, but the need for community, connection, and engagement was required more than ever. Our staff continued to think creatively in how to adapt programs to a virtual delivery for participants of all ages. The library offered a combined 318 virtual and in-person programs in 2021. One of the most popular programs launched in 2021 was Cocktails and Creativity, a virtual program geared for adults who needed a creative break while still in the safety of their own homes. The summer of 2021 saw an ease in restrictions, which allowed us to safely start offering outdoor, in-person programming. We were able to welcome families back to the library with masks, sanitizing, and social distancing measures in place. Our summer reading program had 128 children ages 4 to 13 register, and we saw an increase in families coming for in-person programming at the library who had discovered our services through our virtual program offerings. In 2021, teens and young adults were being recognized as one of the most socially affected populations of the pandemic. In response, our staff focused an increase in programming for that age group, including a murder mystery night, virtual art workshops, and a very popular teen book club called the Paper Cuts. We held 2 virtual author talks in the spring of 2021 and made our way to offering an in-person author visit in the fall. We also held our very first in-person book club since the start of the pandemic in May, complete with social distancing and safety measures in place. In the fall of 2021, programming was able to resume as close to pre-pandemic levels as safely possible. We were excited to see families return to the library and hear laughter and have conversations again in person during our programs. We were excited to finally meet families who we had only met virtually before and feel the energy in the library once again. To continue to be a solution maker in our community, the library hired its first migrant worker resource assistant in 2021, funded by the Young Canada Work Student Program. Mariana Van Berkom regularly engaged with Niagara-on-the-Lake's migrant farm workers, building trust and relationships. Her effort and Spanish-speaking skills allowed the library to evaluate the unique and diverse needs of this valuable yet vulnerable community. One very tangible way we were able to help was by printing and laminating COVID vaccine passports. With the help of staff member Max, Mariana laminated well over 500 cards throughout the summer growing season. In addition, the library provided Wi-Fi hotspots to workers living without internet access at their bunkhouses. This simple device allowed these men and women quality of life benefits, such as video and audio streaming after a long day's work, and, most importantly, provided easy, free communication with their loved ones back home. Home delivery services continued to the most vulnerable in our area and to those who were unable to safely leave their homes to come to the library. In a partnership with the Niagara Falls Community Health Center and the Niagara Falls Public Library, Rainbow Kids Reading Club launched in the spring of 2021. This weekly virtual program provided a safe place for the youngest readers in our community to explore books that spark discussions on gender diversity and just being yourself. We saw an increase to just under 4,000 followers on our Facebook and Instagram channels at the end of 2021. We also launched our very own TikTok channel to reach a whole new audience in our physical and virtual community.
We gotta throw him back.
I want to keep him.
No, you can't keep him.
I want to keep him.
You can't keep him.
In the spring of 2021, the library board and staff undertook the development of a new strategic planning session. These strategic directions and goals, including inspiring lifelong learning, building community, increasing awareness, and innovation, will now help guide our operations into 2024. A full report on our latest strategic plan is available on our website. The Niagara-on-the-Lake Library is also guided by feedback received from our members and community and appreciate all of the encouraging messages we have received this year. We look forward to connecting with you in 2022 and to continue to be the place where people of all ages gather to learn, explore, and connect in our community. See you at the library!